Hey everybody, Dan the website man here, face, behind the computer. Amazing, it's amazing. So here I am, and today I have decided that I think I want to, I've been getting a lot of questions and emails asking just, basic questions about WordPress. So, what I'm going to do, just for a few minutes, I'm going to share the answers to some of the questions that I have received. For example, what is WordPress? Okay, so that's what this video is going to be about, and it's going to be nice and short. So, why don't we just jump right in and begin? So, what is WordPress? WordPress, it's open source. It's a CMS, which means a content management system. There's other CMSs such as Drupal, etc. Those are all CMSs. Super powerful software that pretty much lets you build a website much easier without having to learn how to code. It is always good to know how to code at least a little because plugins can very easily break your site. You may want to change your design for the CSS. So for what is WordPress, it pretty much, to just make it into one sentence, WordPress helps you build and manage a website without needing to know how to code. That's simple. That's what WordPress is. It's amazing. Um, so to go into the history a little bit about WordPress, it was actually initially released in 2003, May 7th, 2003, which means it is the oldest CMS that there is currently. So, as some of you may know, there's a WordPress.com and there's a WordPress.org. Okay, that makes no sense. What is going on? Well, let me explain that to you. Okay, so WordPress.org is the open source WordPress software. Meanwhile, WordPress.com is more a service built on the WordPress.org software. So they kind of are still connected. Okay, so, I'm just going to continue saying a few more questions. How popular is WordPress? Oh, well, let's think. Over 65% of websites. Let me say this again. 65% of websites online, which there's roughly 2.5 billion websites with 125 million new every day. So it is the oldest, I think, the most reliable, and the best for beginners. That's my specialty: WordPress and search engine optimization. So I've also gotten this other question, which I've actually gotten a few times. WordPress was originally built for a blogging site. Obviously, throughout the years, things have evolved into what WordPress is now. However, like I said, when it began, it was strictly for blogging. Um, so that was back in 2003. Like I said, when it began, was just to build blogs, and it has evolved into what it is now. So the answer to that question, very simply, is WordPress just for blogs? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, you know, again, another question I've been asked is about hosting. What is hosting? What does that mean? What is that? What is it? All right, let's make this very, very simple, which is like how I like to keep my videos. Very simple, step by step. Make sure you understand. And if you don't, just leave a comment below and I'd be happy to answer your question for you. Or simply DM me or go on my website, dmwebsitedesign.com, and send me a message. Any of those, I'd be happy to help. So, we're going to go to hosting now. There are so many hosting companies. I'll name a few, okay? GoDaddy. I'm sure you've heard of them forever. Danica Patrick, that beautiful race car driver, That's why everybody knows what GoDaddy is. To me personally, that cPanel sucks. I hate GoDaddy. I will never use it as a hosting provider. Now, let's go to SiteGround. SiteGround.com is actually an excellent hosting provider. It will help your website with the speed, with the SEO, all of these options. Finally, I'm going to come to Bluehost.com, which is what I personally use and host every website for all of my clients. So what it pretty much is when you're hosting, there's a server. So your website needs somewhere to live, so to speak, on the internet. It needs a place to live. And that's exactly what hosting is. It can be self-hosted, but it's better to do it through a company because at that point, if you run into a problem or your website's very slow, you can't figure it out, hop on to Bluehost, go to the immediate chat and talk to them and see, they're great. I've never had a company that is as good as Bluehost. So I'm not trying to represent Bluehost, but that is my personal favorite. So yes, it can be self-hosted, etc. Now, for when it comes to a domain name, you usually want yourbusiness.com. Whatever your business name.com. That's always ideal. However, there are so many domains that are already purchased that may not be available. So, in that case, there may be the .org available, .net, .edu, etc. .org is more for, let's say, business. Let's just keep it simple. So .net is like the next best one from .com. However, this plays a big role in SEO and your SERP, SERP, search engine results page. This will play a huge role. All right, well, lastly, domain names, if you happen to find the one, generally they are pretty cheap, about $20 max. And you should choose what your name is, because if you're going to be including SEO on your website, you need these as keywords, and there's just so much more that I could say. So that's it for this video. I hope you all learned something, and like I said, leave a comment, check out my website, any questions, be happy to answer, be happy to help anybody. All right, guys, see you next time. Bye-bye.